Hi everyone and welcome back. As I continue to take a look at selected episodes of Season 1 of Blake 7. This is a loosely connected two-part story, so here we are with Part 1, Deliverance. Well, it starts off with this bloke rushing back home to his father with a Federation medic on board, with power cells that he needs for his father's heart to keep him alive. Unfortunately, certain nasty people are going to intervene, and that's what happens. His ship explodes deliberately. This is picked up by the Liberator, and they monitor the ship as it falls into the atmosphere of Saffron, and they notice that 2 life capsules have ejected from the ship. So, who caused the explosion? Well, none other than Supreme Commander Servalan, with her scheming idea of ultimate theft. And that will be revealed shortly. So, the Liberator crew teleport down to the planet's surface, that of Gan, Villa, Jenna, and Avon, to investigate, see if there are any survivors from the crash landing. Gan and Jenna discover a door. They can't access it, they can't get into it, but it's been discovered by them too, and they then carry on with their search for the life capsules, and they come across one of the life capsules. It contains the body of the Federation medic. They take his papers off him, reseal the capsule, and inform Avon that they have found one of the crew who is dead. So, 1 down, 1 to go, as Avon would put it. It will be Avon and Villa who discover the second one, and this person is alive. He's in very bad shape. Villa questions the fact, can he survive the stress of being teleported up? Avon basically says, no choice, gotta take him up. So that's what they do. They teleport back up, and they're all back on the Liberator. Well, assuming they're all back on the Liberator, but they're not all back because Jenna is missing. Callie reports this to Blake while their guest is in the medical bay receiving treatment. And what happens basically after reporting that Jenna's missing, that Avon, Gan, and Villa teleport back down to the planet to try to find her. Jenna has been taken by the locals, scavengers as they are referred to, and they take Jenna to their camp. Meanwhile, back on the Liberator, Blake and Callie are looking through the paperwork of the Federation medic and quite surprised what they see. And also they come across, which they do surmise correctly, are power cells. And their guests, they're now been given painkillers and so forth, is telling them, look, my father needs these power cells. Get me to him. It's urgent, it's urgent, it's urgent. And then, well, Blake's guest turns on Blake and Callie as he stumbles out the medical bay, waving a gun. He grabs Callie as hostage and demands that Blake sets course to Pacific coordinates. And reluctantly, Blake has to agree to that. So with the Liberator gone and Avon and Villa trying to contact, they are now stuck on the planet with Gan trying to locate Jenna. Meanwhile, back at Federation Space Command, scheming Serverland's little plan is going ahead quite nicely, but she needs a little bit of help. So she brings on board the disgraced Travis, who wants his command back, and she grants that he gets his command back. And she fills Travis in what she is up to. And she's up to stealing, or getting her hands on, the most advanced computer ever. Meanwhile, back with Avon, Gan and Villa, they gain entrance to the mysterious doorway after having a bit of a run-in with the local scavengers, and they find something rather interesting. It looks like a launch silo. Meanwhile, Jenna in the scavenger camp attempts a escape attempt, let's say, and it fails and she's recaptured. So Avon meets this mysterious woman called Megat, and she tells him about a prophecy which Avon takes quite well, knowing Avon, boosting his ego trip. And basically the prophecy is to launch this rocket to its final destiny. So Avon gets everything working again up to a certain point. Then he says, we've got to stop it now because we've got to get Jenna back. And Megat tells them where the scavenger camp is. So Avon, Villa and Gan obviously set forth and they locate the camp. They free Jenna. There's another scuffle with the scavengers, and they manage to get back to the silo. Meanwhile, back on the Liberator, Blake's guest finally dies from the pain, and it's a near thing with his gun set on automatic, but Callie manages to get out the way before he keels over. Jenna spots some sort of long-range communicator and says we could probably contact the Liberator. Avon agrees. He basically said, yeah, go ahead, try it. And that's what happens. Callie receives the message. And Blake's rather bemused about what he hears about Avon. Lord Avon, to be more precise. And, of course, Lord Avon is going to fulfill this prophecy. He launches this rocket to its destiny. And that's basically where the story ends. And the crew obviously return back to the Liberator. So what is this supercomputer? Well, that will be revealed later. Okay, so here we go with my closing thoughts on Deliverance. Well, where do you begin? I like the idea of Serverland being a real schemer and going behind the back of the Federation about her little scheme, which she's put into operation, and it's going ahead quite nicely for her so far. And the way she tells Travis about it, which is rather interesting, because if Travis is so loyal to the Federation, then surely he could turn on her. Or is it because Serverland is more powerful and Travis has already been in disgrace over the Blake business? Hard to tell. As for the prophecy side of the story, very peculiar. Absolutely very peculiar. I can't really make that one out too much. But anyway, it's not a bad story. It's not as good as the last one I reviewed, Project Avalon. I think is a better story, but nevertheless, it's an okay story, and it is a loosely connected story to the final episode of season 1, and it all comes to a head in that particular episode. Yeah, not bad overall. There was a few things I look at and think, okay, but yeah, okay, fair enough. And I think on that note, I will say have a great day, everyone, and I will catch you in due course. Goodbye.